Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's Dark Avenger Comic Book Review. Cap Hawkeye book. Captain America and Hawkeye, 629. 630 will also be Captain America Hawkeye, and then 631 I believe is Captain America Iron Man. Turns out this team that's over there don't want to be bothered by anybody outside. They found these fossils that they've been digging up, or that have been messing with human DNA, what to speak. It was just technical mumbo jumbo that I was basically ignoring. Once again, another book I skimmed through. Artwork is beautiful though. They say where the people went missing. They go down into the caverns where there's attacked by monsters, and it's to be continued with all of them ganging up on Cap and Hawkeye. Artwork is sweet, really nice, great fight scenes, enjoyable, fun reading the chemistry between Hawkeye and Cap. If you want to know really what was going on in this book, I would highly recommend you check this book out. It's hot in this room, I'll tell you that much. But we ain't putting the air conditioner on now because we're almost done. We have 2 more books and then just tie-ins to AVX. Astonishing X-Men 49, really good. Ties into the Marauders. That's who these people are. Turns out somebody's pulling the strings though. They're all under some type of a mind control. X-Men take them out towards the middle of the book. Great fight scene. Turns out one of their psychics, I cannot remember her name for the life of me. Are you done? Okay. Let's see if it shows at the beginning. Yes, it does. Karma goes into one of the people who were left behind's mind to see what's going on, and turns out she turns up nothing except some really freaky, deaky kind of thing. There's a whole North Star and his boyfriend moment for 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of North Star and his boyfriend talking about how they belong together, and then it turns out the person who's mind controlling everybody makes her appearance, to be continued in the next issue. Next issue cover looks really awesome. There's stuff in between that's here and there and everywhere. Really epic. Great seeing the whole Iceman. I love Iceman, so it's fun seeing him in the comics. It was really good. X-Men won the fight, but it turns out they didn't win the war yet. Glad that Astonishing X-Men is on Wolverine's side. However, it is, at this moment, one of the weaker of the X-Men books. But however, all the X-Men books right now are focused on AVX except this one. So, I really can't knock it because it's the only book right now that actually has a story that takes place outside of AVX. So, last book that has nothing to do with Avengers vs. X-Men, the Mighty Thor, issue 13. Thor is back on Asgard and everybody's rejoicing. Donald Blake is talking about his life, how he once was Thor to this person we don't know about till the very end of the book. But now he's just Donald Blake, his walking stick's gone. And then we go back to Asgard where Thor is there. It turns out there's a locked door. Thor goes in there. There's an introduction to a new, let's call it a problem, so to speak, and it's called a I'll show you guys in a bit. I want to show some fight artwork first. Really cool, awesome artwork. It turns out it's called a, they released a mares. It kind of reminds me of something that sucks onto you and it gives you nightmares. So I guess that's why it's called a mare. So Thor's out for the count, and then the very end is Donald Blake talking to this girl, and it turns out the girl is, spoiler alert, but if you didn't know, this cover's been almost everywhere. It's the Enchantress. He wants to be a god again, and he's willing to give the Enchantress his soul to give him Thor back as his, to make him Thor again. Pretty interesting. I enjoyed the Thor parts. The Donald Blake parts was more of a flashback and stuff like that, so it was alright. Up to you guys. I'm enjoying the Mighty Thor. Look forward to seeing what happens next with the Mayors, at least, not Donald Blake. The Mayors, definitely. The weaker of the 3 tie-ins, Uncanny X-Men 11. Remember, guys, once again, I'm only getting Uncanny X-Men and anything that involves Cyclops aside until AVX is done, and then I'll be dropping it. This whole book was about people on the cover, Red Hulk versus Colossus. Beginning of the book actually is more along the lines of Hope asking, I don't know who this is, like what he knows about the Phoenix Force and Epic artwork with Captain America, though. And then we get that picture, that one picture that everybody, that we see in almost every single book. We saw it in New Avengers, we see it in this, we saw it in a couple of books already. And then everybody goes off to the fighting mode. Red Hulk versus Colossus, who really monsters out. Expanding more on the Hope Summers slowly becoming or getting stronger because the Phoenix Force is getting closer. And then basically the X-Men retreating because they're obviously losing. And then before that, Cyclops starts an Avenger protocol, and it goes to this woman called Kate Kildare, who is the PR specialist for the X-Men, and she releases this letter to the world. Basically, long story short, he's like, we threatened you guys before, you know, the Avengers came to our soil and started this. We're going to end it. You started this war, not us. Cyclops is becoming more and more the villain, in my opinion. Now, even though, you know, people are on the X-Men side, you all got to admit something's wrong with Cyc. He is not the Cyclops that everybody knew and loved way back when. I mean, Cyclops used to be an uptight, broomstick in the butt kind of guy, but Cyclops is unbelievably, ridiculously retarded lately, and somebody needs to put him down a notch. Or maybe there's something wrong with him. Maybe mind control. Audrey, I'll give you that. Maybe it's mind control. But damn, somebody's got to do something with Cyclops.
Or it could be the death of Jean Grey.
I don't know. All I know is where is Professor Xavier? This is Phoenix. Hello? Professor, where are you? Hello? This is why I miss the old X-Men that were led by Professor Xavier. You know, I don't like this whole now Cyclops is the leader of the X-Men. They don't need Professor Xavier anymore. It kind of minorly pisses me off. Okay. Secret Avengers 26 involves the Avengers team that goes into space to try to capture the Phoenix Force. Big spoiler here. Yeah, right. They fail. And now they're going to, I forgot, the world of the Kree. What world is that? The what's the world of the Kree name? Hala. So the Avengers team from space goes there to await the Phoenix Force. However, Marvel Girl and or Miss Marvel and let me make sure I say his name right. Protector are talking, and they both know that they have to allow that nothing stops the Phoenix Force by any means. And then, big spoiler, everybody saw this page by now, Captain Marvel shows up, regenerated by the Phoenix Force somewhere in the middle of this book, and he's like, we have to kill the Avengers, to be continued. More on this happens in Avengers 26, and then continued in Secret Avengers 27. Not a huge fan of the artwork, but the artwork for Phoenix and the whole Thor fighting Phoenix was really nice. So, 50-50 artwork. The Avengers got their butts handed to them in space. Another book that really didn't connect too much at all to the actual events that are going on right now, New Avengers 25. It really just talks about how Iron Fist and the Phoenix have known each other for hundreds of years. It goes back in the past where they're talking about the Phoenix Force, so there's some type of a bond between the two. So it's unknown. I believe Iron Fist is supposed to protect the Phoenix. That's what his whole next goal is, or to protect Hope. Or if they're supposed to fight, I have no idea. It kind of jumbled up. I'm not a huge Iron Fist fan, so I really don't know too much about this. But it's, once again, just backup story. If you're not reading New Avengers already, you don't have to read this. I've been reading New Avengers, so this was just more along the lines of an Iron Fist focus and how Iron Fist and Phoenix have somehow for the past, how many years did they mention here? The past... This was an epic splash page of the Phoenix, though. Hundreds of years. They don't even say how they've intertwined with each other, so to speak. It's okay. It was an okay book, but it really just more solidifies the bond between Iron Fist and Phoenix. Up to you guys. Finally this week, and concludes the Omega Effect, Daredevil number 11. And by the end of this book, Daredevil's right back to the beginning again. It turns out that, what's her name, Michael, that works with Frank Castle?
Rachel.
Rachel, I'm not going to say too much because I'll give you something to talk about on your review. Turns out Rachel turned on everybody. She wants to use the Omega Drive for herself to kill the people that killed her husband. Daredevil takes chase after her after they do quick work of the Hydra agents and everybody. Turns out that the device Spider-Man made to destroy the Omega Drive was destroyed also. So Daredevil has to come up with a new way to destroy the Omega Drive, but he has a new plan. And we find out, and he says this towards the very end of the book. Rachel, her name is? Rachel disappears. She doesn't die. Punisher disappears into the next Punisher book, obviously. Spider-Man and Daredevil have a quick talk, and that's where he mentions he has a second plan. And the next two Daredevil books are going to focus on the Omega Drive, I believe. Maybe not this book as much, but the following book, issue 13, is definitely going to focus really closely on the Omega Drive. Next week is Daredevil number 12, and then in 3 weeks is Daredevil number 13. I'll probably be pre-ordering that next week or 2 weeks from now. This was a good 3-part series. However, after going from point A to point B, Daredevil's right back to point A again. So the whole point of this was a good team up, but Daredevil's in the exact same spot he was in at the start of this series. So it was great teaming up. It was a great story. It was great artwork in all 3 books. However, the Omega Drive story continues on in Daredevil. Avenging Spider-Man continues on, I believe, with She-Hulk next. And Frank is going to be on his own again, and he's going to be going after some zombie thingy. I don't know if they didn't mention it in the back over here. Oh no, Frank Castle just got a big chainsaw in the next issue. It's coming out next week, Mike. You'll see there. So Frank Castle's back on his own again, pretty much. Really good series. Highly recommend all 3 of these books for the Omega Effect. It was really awesome. Daredevil is just going super strong. Super strong. I'm talking, if you have to pick Daredevil or Aquaman or Daredevil, Daredevil. Best book. Best book out of the 2 of them. Okay, let's round up this week and end this comic review. Be ready for next comic book unboxing Friday in 2 days. Hopefully, I didn't get an email yet about my comics being shipped. Daredevil number 11. Awesome. Omega Effect ended. Check it out. You'll see more of that on Mike's monthly review. New Avengers 25 just showed the bond between Iron Fist and the Phoenix Force. If you haven't been collecting New Avengers, if you're looking to go out of your way, you don't have to, but Secret Avengers 26, yeah, you saw it coming. Pretty alright. Uncanny X-Men 11 was just, you knew that was going to happen. The Mighty Thor 13, awesome, highly recommend it. Astonishing X-Men 49, a pretty good story, finally with Wolverine side. Captain America and Hawkeye 629, pretty good series. Was I came in with low expectations, came out with a real big enjoyment, and I'm coming back for the next issue. Captain America 10, Steve Rogers is a super soldier again. It's done, it's over. No more going back and de-super soldiering Steve anymore. We'll see where the next story arc goes, if it makes or breaks the series. Avengers vs. X-Men versus number 1. Just a throwdown fight. Do you need it for AVX? Absolutely not. I'm being honest with you guys. The only things you need for AVX is issues 1 through 12 of the AVX series. So far, all these tie-ins have almost nearly nothing to do with the actual series except beefing out the story a bit more. Just in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but whatever. That's how I'm seeing it. Wolverine 305 kind of took a little down drop from all the past story arcs, but once again, you gotta have 1 or 2 stories that kind of, and this is basically it. Next story arc will probably bring it right back up again. Ultimate Spider-Man number 1, for the kids good. For adults, maybe not so much. Aquaman 8 was the best from DC this week, which isn't saying much because Dark Knight number 8 was okay, and Green Lantern New Guardians was okay also. Nothing special. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 9, book of the week. This is the variant cover that came out a week early. You can wait till the first week of May, which is today, and get the regular cover for less money. If you're like me and you like the old TMNT stuff, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, reprints from the Archie comics, which started the animated series, 100 pages, worth the money, really awesome, good book. It's a $7.99. This is a $7.99 book though. Ghostbusters 8 was really good. Transformers Robots in Disguise number 4, once again, gives more and more of a reason for me to keep this as a number 2, the second place Transformers book, first one to get dropped if ever. Popeye number 1 was a breath of fresh air from my childhood. Road Rage number 3 kind of left me with an empty feeling. I'm coming back for the next issue most likely, but then I'm probably going to see that's going to make or break it for me. The New Dead Guardians number 2. Same feeling where it's like I just don't feel like I'm enjoying the story enough to pick up the next issue. Star Wars Blood Ties number 1. Boba Fett is dead. I loved it. I'm going to finish this series off. Up to you guys. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to love it. Whispers number 1. Give this book a shot. I'll be doing Whispers number 2 in the next comic book review, and you'll see where the book went from issue 1. Really, I just want to catch up with the book because I believe issue 3 is coming out in 2 weeks anyway, so I want to at least catch up. So guys, this was the week of April 25th, the last week of April. Next episode is the first week of May. See you guys then. An Avenger log is going to be before this, but I'm shooting it after this, so you can go back a video. There's going to be big news in there about some videos that are going to be happening next week, and some other news. Catch you guys really soon. Take care, keep collecting, and keep reading, and see you then. See you in the next video.